Alright, before we get started with screen time, you need to go check in settings, and if you see this screen time that I have circled in red, you're in the right place. If not, go check out the iOS restrictions video. Alright, we're going to take a look at screen time. This is a function of iOS 12. It replaced iOS restrictions in iOS 12. So you're going to go to settings, click on screen time, turn on screen time, and then it brings you to an informational page that details what is available in screen time, weekly reports. Those are sent to your device from your child's device. It also allows you to set downtime and app limits, content and privacy restrictions. Let's go ahead and press continue. We're going to set this up for our child. It's going to start out by bringing you to the downtime feature. This is a daily time limit that is set up for the entire device. It covers all device activity for your child on a specific device. Then it'll take you to app limits. This is where you can set up time restrictions for certain apps or app categories. You may want to limit games and social media, but give your child access, unlimited access to things of an educational nature. I'm just going to go ahead and expand this out and show you the different categories that exist. This is where you're going to come to set time allotments per category or per app within the screen time functions. So you'll continue next, and it'll show you a little page talking about content and privacy. You're not actually turning it on yet, but this will tell you about it. And then it's going to ask you to enter a passcode. This parent passcode will be required anytime you make changes to screen time. So you're going to want to remember it and not give it to your child. The next thing that we're going to see here is the screen time control panel. Within that, we're going to go ahead and click on content and privacy restrictions. Go ahead and enter that passcode that you just created. And here is all of our options. We're going to go ahead and turn it on. Then the first thing that we're going to look at is iTunes and App Store purchases. This will allow you to control who can install apps, deleting apps, if you can purchase things within the app, all things that you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on. And then there's also a setting for requiring that password again if you're going to make additional purchases. So those are things you certainly want to keep an eye out on. Another thing is allowed apps. These are the native apps to iOS. You can turn off each one if you want, or turn them on. Decide which apps you want to allow your child to have access to. And those are the ones that are native to iOS, not your third-party apps. Next, we have content restrictions. You can make changes based on the type of content that you want your child to have access to, as far as lyrics and the music, podcast, and news, and movies, TV shows, books, and apps. You can change the settings based on the content ratings that exist for those particular types of media. So go ahead and just click through and take a look at all the different settings that exist there. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at web content. You can choose the option that says allowed websites only, and it pre-populates with some kid-friendly sites there, or you can add your own. That's one thing you might want to take a look at. Web search content for Siri, you can allow or disallow that. In addition, there's an explicit language filter. You probably want to turn that off. And multiplayer games, that's something to keep an eye out for as well. Adding friends, anything that allows your child to have interaction with others might be worth taking a look at. So once again, this is the content restrictions panel. Go ahead and just browse through that and see what options you have. iOS does a really good job of giving you a lot of different options to choose from when it comes to content filtering on your child's device. So like I said, just browse through all this, become familiar with it, and definitely recommend that you use it. And that is screen time.